اليوتيوبر تومي جي ذهب إلى أمريكا عند أثرى الأثرياء اللي يبنوا مناجم أو ملاجئ تحت الأرض للاختباء في حالة حدوث حرب أو انفجار كبير. صلوا على نبينا محمد. راح نشوفوا هذا الشيء في الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية، وين راح يتكلم عن واحد من أشهر البنائين اللي يشتغلوا عند أثرى الأثرياء في أمريكا وبنى لهم هذا المخابئ للاختباء خلال نهاية العالم إلى آخره والمعتقدات تاعهم. أنا درت لكم ترجمة مكتوبة، تابعوا الفيديو.
Just outside Dallas, Texas, and we have a very fascinating story for you today. We're diving into the world of millionaire and billionaire bunkers. And to me, this is like the new Rolex. Like everyone that has a lot of money seems to be getting a bunker. And I want to know why. Do they know something that we don't? For the rest of us that can't afford a bunker, what options do we have? And what are these people running from that? Can we prepare for it at all? We're going to talk to the #1 bunker guy in the world, I think it's fair to say. We're about to pull up to the business Atlas Survival Shelters, and we're going to get this party started.
باختصار هذا الشخص قام ببناء هذا الملاجئ لعدد كبير من الأثرياء، على رأسهم رئيس شركة ميتا للفيسبوك مارك زوكربيرغ، بالإضافة إلى الإخوة عائلة الكارديشان، بالإضافة إلى الإخوة أندرو تيت وتريستان تيت.
Hey Tommy G.
Hey.
Well, come on in. Here, working, I have a PhD in architecture, I have a master's in science, and I got a master's in physics. It equals building bomb shelters. He's trying to extend life, and I'm trying to save life.
Tell the people who you are and where we are.
Well, I'm Ron Hubbard. I'm the founder and owner of Atlas Survival Shelters, and we are about an hour from Dallas right now in a small town called Sulphur Springs, Texas. Population about 15,000.
Why the heck did you start a survival shelter business?
Well, I like to joke around and say my modeling career wasn't going so well. You know, it became a side business for me. You know, I got into it like 15 years ago in 2011. I was in LA making doors, and in the back of my factory, I started making bomb shelters out of culvert pipe. And I did it for, you know, quite a few years, and then I got this idea that, you know what, I should make a small bomb shelter and put it underneath the house.
So is this more of a luxury man cave, or is this really to survive something crazy?
No, it's really to survive something, but we try to make it look like a luxury man cave. If you look on my plaque right here, there's Tristan Tate, Zuckerberg, there's Kim Kardashian.
هذا كل أشخاص. شوف، زوكربيرغ رئيس شركة ميتا، تريستان تيت أخو أندرو تيت، لعائلة الكارداشيان، هذو كلهم بنى لهم مخابئ تحت الأرض. ولكن أين تختبئ يا عزيزي؟ الموت موجودة في كل مكان.
Going in my bunker right there, Zuckerberg, you know, but I get everybody famous, it seems like.
Kim Kardashian isn't the only one with a bunker. It seems President Trump is motivated to build one as well. You've probably heard about the taxpayer-funded $400 million ballroom, but what isn't as widely talked about is the supposed 6-story underground bunker that's part of the project. And with Trump's totally ethical son-in-law Jared Kushner also trying to build a bunker compound in Albania, it makes you wonder why some of the most powerful people in the world all seem to be scrambling to create a structure that could survive a nuke. I just read an article on you that previously you were doing about $2 million a month in business, but in the recent times you might project as high as $50 million.
Yeah.
What's driving that?
Well, we actually did that. It's the times.
In a month of business.
Yeah.
And the war is driving a lot of that right now.
Yeah, it will go back down to normal.
Tell me about the bunkers that you made for the Tate brothers.
Well, the bunkers for the Tate brothers, we're actually building it right now. Of course, you know, they got thrown in jail and it got delayed. First, we were going to build them a steel bunker. We designed it, we're going to manufacture it at our plant in Poland. Then we realized that we couldn't really transport it to the property where they got it. Basically, they ordered a Corvette and they're getting a Lamborghini. You're getting more bunker than what you paid for. But they're one of the very few clients that I have that's actually going to let me film their bunker after it's done. Most of these high net worth clients, you sign an NDA before you even know who the client is.
Tell me about the
الورقة NDA أعزائي المشاهدين. أي شخص يشتغل مثلا في مجال من المجالات، مثلا يشتغل في مجال خاص مخابرات إلى آخره، بالإضافة إلى مناطق ممنوعة أنك تصور بداخلها، في أمريكا يعطوك وثيقة NDA لما تمضيها إذا تكلمت عن أي سر من الأسرار بإمكانهم أنهم يقاضوك ويدخلوك حتى إلى السجن. ممنوع عليك أن تتكلم. NDA. Okay.
The Kardashian bunker.
Well, the Kardashian bunker, I did an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. At the time, this was like 5 years ago, they wanted to shoot in a bunker. So I made them a round culvert shelter. It was 12 foot diameter and 50 foot long, basically the same bunker that I have for myself. And we shipped it out to Calabasas. We set it up. It was like in June or July. I would say that their bunker was more of a prop setup than doing the installation, because we never even got to get it in the ground for them to shoot it. We shot it above ground in the bunker, but before it was ever installed. All right, let me give you a quick tour of the factory here. So my company has pivoted from not only making bunkers, but teaching people how to make bunkers.
Really?
And then I sell the parts. So what I'm doing now is I'm teaching 1,000 people how to make bomb shelters, and I'm supplying all the parts to them.
Brilliant. I noticed that you make a lot of bomb shelters for the mega millionaires and the billionaires, but is this more of the affordable, everyday man's?
This is the everyday man shelter. Here, let me show you one. It's right here. I didn't open my business to service billionaires and millionaires. I opened my business to make those culvert shelters like that one right there for people like me, because I wanted one. So I started making those round culvert shelters, and then I started making these square ones because these can go underneath the house. Okay? And then I got the idea of mass producing one that everybody could afford, that I eliminate the labor out of. This is my level 1 shelter. My least best design of the shelters, but it's also the least expensive. When you get into my bigger bunkers, they basically are EMP proof. They're a level 4 bunker, basically with up to 1 to 2 meters thick of concrete around them.
How were you able to test this concept and make sure that it could survive nuclear fallout?
What's protecting you from nuclear fallout is not the shelter itself, but the amount of earth between you and the surface. As long as that hole's 3 feet.
سألوا سؤال وجيه هذا طوميجي، كيفاش أنت تقول بأن هذا المخبأ يحميك من الانفجارات النووية؟ كيف جربت هذا الشيء؟ خلينا نشوف الإجابة.
So that it could survive nuclear fallout.
What's protecting you from nuclear fallout is not the shelter itself, but the amount of earth between you and the surface. As long as that hole's 3 feet deep and you have enough 90-degree turns in there, you could crawl underground and survive nuclear fallout in there.
Can your bunker survive a nuclear bomb?
It depends its proximity to the bomb. I mean, if the bunker's buried in the ground and it is a ground burst which hits the ground, no bunker in the world can survive, because it's going to leave a crater 300 foot deep and probably 600 to 900 feet wide. They are designed to survive nuclear fallout, any kind of chemical attacks or chemical.
يعني هناك فرق بين التداعيات النووية والانفجار النووي. الانفجار النووي صعب جدا أنهم يقاوموه صراحة.
Event that would be caused from nuclear warfare. They're designed to survive any kind of biological attack or any kind of biological situation. So let's say some country develops a plague that's airborne. You got to go into an airtight environment. That's what I build.
You got to know your science to be able to build.
هنا عندي سؤال، يعني كما قلت، يعني كيف هم يبنون هذه المخابئ تحت الأرض ويجهزوها بكل تجهيزات؟ لماذا في الوقت الحالي بالذات؟ ممكن على بالك ممكن هذا القوة العظيمة في العالم، لأنه في العالم هذا كاين ناس طبيعة الحال عندهم قوة ما نعرفوهاش احنا، وقوة الله عز وجل فوق كل شيء على فكرة. هذو الناس بإمكانهم أنهم مثلا في المستقبل يديروا حرب بيولوجية لبلد من البلدان، يقول لك هذاك البلد ماتوا فيه كل الناس كل السكان بسبب فيروس انتشر في ذلك البلد، ولكن في الحقيقة يكون هذاك المرض مفتعل، فيروس منتشر من طرف جهات ما، ويروحوا يستولوا على تلك الأرض بعد ما يموتوا فيها كل الناس. هذا أمر ممكن، وهذا الأشخاص الأثرياء ما راهمش أشخاص أغبياء، في أغلب الأحيان يكونوا عارفين شيء، مثلا الله أعلم إذا كان عندهم اطلاع على الأجندة أو أي شيء آخر، الله أعلم.
To work here, you got to have a PhD or a master's. You got to understand the structural part of how deep you got to be. You got to understand the physics of the slap from the wave. The science comes in of understanding how the radiation will affect you and your body. So if you put it together, that team can make underground nuclear bomb shelters. This you would think is a bomb shelter. It's big enough, but it's actually just the engine room to a bomb shelter. See, when you see the bunkers, the living quarters, That's just the living quarters. This is where the diesel generator goes. That middle room is for batteries. The other room is a decon room, and the other room is a mud room. So there's 4 rooms before we even get to the bunker.
So how many of these bunkers are you turning out a month, would you say?
Not enough. Remember, this is R&D. Like I said, everything we do in here looks like the factory, but it's not a production line yet. We try to break even. We're not really trying to make money on the people. We're trying to gather data.
Even when you sell to a billionaire, you're not trying to make money?
I mean, we're not trying to lose money, but we're not so concerned about making money as we are about perfecting the product. Now listen, when I started doing this, there were 6 other people doing it. Now there's just 1, and that's me. 2 of the companies made bunkers that 3 people died in each one. 1 blew up, and the other 3 died from H2S gas.
واو يعني الامر ماشي سهل ما فيش لعب.
To me, it says a lot about the state of the world that these things are going through the roof right now in sales. And what I think is really cool is that humans do tend to innovate their way through big problems. And you see it right in action right here. But at the same time, you wonder, do we have to live in a world where people should be thinking about nuclear fallout and bombs and bunkers? And I don't know, maybe I'm a little hippy-dippy Bob Marley, but there's got to be a better way. Tell me about any unique features about Mr. Beast's bunker.
It feels like the inside was like an alien ship. It was very out of this world, I might say. We actually combined one of our round culvert shelters along with one of our square modular shelters, and one was at one level, and then you went down the stairs and there was another level. When the episode cleared or was over and they spent 100 days in my bunker and they won $700,000, they needed the B-roll shot of the money on fire for the promotion, and they had a fire suppression system added for this event. So when they went to burn the money for the shot, the fire suppression system didn't work, and it burnt the entire bunker down. It was really made for YouTube type video. When everything was said and done, it cost like $1.2 million. You know, the attitude in 2011, when I asked people, what are the odds you think you'll see World War III in your lifetime? You know what it was? In 2011, it was like 1 or 2%. If I ask you today, what are the odds you will see World War III in your lifetime? Guess what it is? Way over 50%.
وانتم اعزائي المشاهدين اكتبوا لي في التعليقات بالنسبه لكم ما هي نسبه حضوركم لحرب عالميه ثالثه. انا نشوف بانه حاليا كاينه حرب عالميه ثالثه. ماذا حدث في فلسطين الى اخره يعني.
I think World War III will happen in 30 years. But what you will see probably next year or the year after, you will see a plague, a biblical plague like you've never seen before. You see, the wealthy people are not worried about nuclear war. They're worried about plagues. And then they're worried about civil unrest after the plague. But I did a video, why is Bill Gates building so many...
سمعت ولا ما سمعتش؟ هم هذو الأثرياء ما راهمش خايفين من الأسلحة، بل خايفين من الفيروسات. وشفتوا واش حدث قبل سنوات اللي كنا نديروا الكمامة وما نخرجوش إلى آخره. الأمر ما كانش سهل، بزاف ناس الله يرحمهم توفوا في تلك المرحلة. فالعلم كي راه يتطور وهذا الذكاء الاصطناعي الى اخره ليس عبثا. هناك الكثير من الامور تحدث في الكواليس متاكد. ولكن ما نقدرش نقول لك انه هذا الشيء خوفني ولا لا لانه انا عندي ثقه في الله عز وجل. الانسان اللي يتفرج فيا ما يخافش لانه احنا عندنا الله عز وجل، والانسان في نفس الوقت يشتغل باش يوصل وينافسهم في امور فيها خير ان شاء الله. هم يديروا الشر وانت تدير الخير باذن الله.
And then Bill Gates in the video says, I put the likelihood of nuclear fallout in my lifetime as very unlikely, but I put the odds of a plague greater than Ebola in my lifetime at greater than 50%. Now that was his word for word. Matter of fact, right here you can show the clip.
This is the greatest risk of a huge tragedy. This is the most likely thing by far to kill over 10 million excess people in a year.
How did COVID impact your business?
COVID caused the business to increase and become more steady, and more people realize that they didn't think that was the big one, but they think the big one's coming as well as I do. I think you'll see a plague in 2027 or 2028.
Worse than COVID?
Just from what I predict, what I've seen. And what
لا تخافوا يا المشاهدين، هذا توقعات فقط، اوكي؟ والعلم عند الله عز وجل.
But I know. I mean,
that's what some of the billionaires think that you're building for.
No, I'll put it this way. 50% of the scientists that created the COVID vaccine have been in this office buying bunkers from me.
Wow.
I get it from talking to them. Okay? This is coming from the people who created the COVID vaccine coming now to get bunkers for the future of what they think is.
اخويا جيل التسعينات راك تسمع واش راه يقول، فهمت ولا ما فهمتش؟ قال لك الاطباء الباحثون والمختصون الذين ساهموا في بناء لقاح الكوفيد كانوا يجوا عنده يطلبوا ملاجئ، يصنع لهم ملاجئ، وسمع عنهم وفهم عنهم بأن هناك أسوأ سيحدث في المستقبل. الله أعلم، علمها عند الله عز وجل. ولكن صراحة كي تشوف وش وقع في العالم كله من منكرات إلى آخره، تقدر تقول بأن الله عز وجل في أي لحظة ينزل علينا الغضب بتاعه، وربي يلطف بنا إن شاء الله. وفي نفس الوقت يقدر يكون هذا الأمر مفتعل من طرف جهة من الجهات. الموضوع هذا صراحة ما تقدرش تعرف الحقيقة تاعه، يعني كإنسان راك تشوف فيه وتابع، حتى وإذا كان تعرف الحقيقة ما يخلوكش تهدرها. يعني إذا فتحت حساب وهدرت الحقيقة راح ينحولك الحساب يعني في أي لحظة من اللحظات.
You can tell these boys are working hard. They got their toolbox. They got their Zen. These guys are fired up. They're ready to work. You guys are making bunkers for millionaires and billionaires. What does it make you feel like is coming in the world?
I feel like, I don't know, I like the crap out of it. I've been here for like 3 years, and like, dude, it's awesome. Everything that, yeah, he's been here longer than I have, but every day it's something new. It's like something custom. You get to meet people that are prepping for, you know, like real life stuff that happens out in the world. So it's kind of crazy, you know, what's going on.
It's crazy stuff, and I've been paying attention to what's going on. Like I said, I've been watching videos and been paying attention to independent media, and I would say the need for one is imminent.
Part of me thinks like most people cannot afford a bunker. So what can the average person back home do?
There's your master in physics.
Yeah,
You're a master.
I have at least a bachelor's of physics, and I'm working my master's. And I would.
تشوف هذو كلهم قال لك عندهم درجات ماستر وبي اتش دي. هذا راه في الماستر تاعو في مجال الفيزياء، وراه يقول لك باللي الناس راهم يتحضروا وعارفين امور، يتوقعوا امور. يعني انا شوف نقول لكم عن حاجه باش ما نخوفكمش. منذ سنوات كاين واحد الفئه تاع الناس شفناها ديجا لما كنا صغار في برامج ناشيونال جيوغرافيك، الناس يحضروا معلبات اكل الى اخره ويخزنوها كلها في الجراج، ومن بعد تحضيرا لنهايه العالم. انت ماذا تعلم نهايه العالم؟ الانسان ما لازمش يجهل لهذه الدرجه، فهمت؟ فهذا الاموال اللي هم يصرفوها على البانكرز لو يصرفوها مثلا على الفقراء في العالم، اغنياء العالم يعطوا الاموال الى فقراء العالم، لم يبقاش فقير. يعني الصدقه الصدقه الصدقه. ولكن لسوء الحظ الناس ما يامنوش بالصدقه.
Say, dig yourself a cave.
Do you guys think Israel has something to do with this shit?
Absolutely.
اسمع السؤال.
Dig yourself a cave.
Do you guys think Israel has something to do with this
قال له هل تعتقد بأن إسرائيل عندها علاقة مع هذا الشيء؟
shit?
Absolutely.
قال له قطعا بالضبط absolutely. واه العالم كله راهو يتكلم عليهم بهذه الطريقة.
Absolutely.
100%. صديقه قال له 100%. what the hell؟ والله صراحة هذا الأمر هذا اللقطة هذه اسمع.
And I would say, dig yourself a cave.
Do you guys think Israel has something to do with this shit?
Absolutely. 100%. Absolutely.
All we need is one nuke.
يعني ماذا تريد أن تقول؟ كل الناس اكتشفوا وجههم، قاع الناس اكتشفوا الوجه الحقيقي وعارفين باللي هاد الناس حابين الخراب. والمشكل أنك لما تعرف هذوك الناس حابين الخراب وتبقى تتكلم عليهم، يعني وكانك تتقبل فيهم، تتقبل بلي هذوك الناس يخربوا فقط. وفي الحقيقة ما لازمش نتقبلوا هذا الشيء، لازم نوقفوا. يعني أي كما مثل ما حدث بين أوكرانيا وروسيا، قاموا بإيقاف روسيا وقطعوا عليها كرة القدم، قطعوا عليها التبادلات المالية إلى آخره. ولكن مع هذوك ما وقع ولا شيء صراحة.
Just one nuke from one country, North Korea, Iran. Now, if Iran had one, they would have probably launched it. Then everyone would be panicking and calling me and saying, all right, it can happen. You know, these people who say, I'd just rather die when the bomb goes off. Those exact people are going to be the very first one trying to find a bunker to crawl into and say, let me in, let me in. Yeah, it's
One's for the Israeli kid. So
no. That's a Israeli blast door. We need the $2,000 gas tight door. That's a $6,500 door. So you got the wrong door.
Okay.
The Israelis made the gasket, or the customers?
Well, it's funny. Everything you see right there was made in Switzerland or Israel.
أوه. كل الأمور المصنوعة هنا صنعت في الكيان وسويسرا. لماذا؟
We don't make this in America. See, there's no demand for the items that you see right here because bomb shelters are not an everyday way of life. Where you go to Israel, every house and every apartment has a bomb shelter, and in Switzerland, every house and every building has a bomb shelter. So they have demand that's built in because the building code states so. So I'm working on changing the building codes in America, or at least give the people an option that the builder can say, hey, do you want your house to have a safe room or not?
Being inside a billionaire's compound, what kind of things have you noticed?
They keep them quiet, they keep them hidden. Even the contractors that are building a home, maybe right on top of them, they may not even know that they're there.
And a lot of them have to sign an NDA.
Oh, absolutely, we all do. Absolutely. Yeah, we're not to divulge any names or locations or anything like that.
People do not want people to know they have a shelter. We come in incognito. We have no names on our trucks. Matter of fact, when we invoice the people, my factory doesn't even know who the customer is. So let's say you're Bill Gates. It will just say Bill Seattle on the invoice. So my office and my employees never know exactly who is buying a bomb shelter.
And why do you think they're so secretive?
Boy, this is like one of those things that, I mean, it's more secretive than a bank account. You could probably ask them where do you bank, and they may tell you JP Morgan or Raymond James or Bank of America someplace. But then ask them, where's your bomb shelter? I'm not telling you.
What we are walking into is a bunker that Ron's clients at the millionaire level would purchase.
It's gas tight, you come in, you can lock it down.
الابواب لازم تكون محكمه ضد الغازات اعزائي المشاهدين. يعني الغازات هنا تعرف بان المشكل ما راهوش فقط في القنابل والتفجيرات ولا لا كاين مشكل بيولوجي. اوكي.
Basically you got
This is the composite flooring that you see on a nice deck.
Similar to Trex deck, it's a timber tech. You got full shower, toilet, you got all the plumbing, you got a sink.
Nice countertops. Look at this.
We do offer like electric stoves. We don't do anything propane or gas into a bunker because then we have reverse osmosis filtration. You got hot water. You got just a regular sediment filter before it comes in. Microwave. This is a smaller air system. This is a 75. So we have different size filters depending on how many people you plan on having in there, how much square footage. So under the floor we've got 300-gallon water tanks. And then there's room to put food, water, any kind of stuff like that, any storage stuff. So there's plenty of room under. You can put your like number 10 cans. You can put dry goods. You can put a lot of stuff down there. That's what we offer a lot of times is underfloor storage because then you got all your square footage, but you still also have room to put things. You're not all cluttered in here.
So this is a nice bunker, but it's still in the more basic level, right?
Yeah, this is a smaller one. There were some custom things that was done for this customer. So I mean, there's a lot of different routes you can go. But yeah, absolutely.
What do you think this bunker goes for?
Probably in 150, around 150K, and that's without install. So the install, there's a contractor that will install it as well. We work closely with the installer.
واو. يعني $150,000 لهذا البنكر الصغير فقط. زيد له يعني واحد $100,000 للتثبيت يعني لوضعه في المكان.
I've done a few bunkers for ex-cabinet members of Donald Trump. I don't want to spread any fear. It's not like they think anything is certain, as far as I know, except the future. And the future doesn't look too well.
From an off-the-record source, I heard about highly classified bunkers that are massive in scale sprinkled around the country. I'm talking about places like Mount Weather and Raven Rock that are built for military use and government officials in the event of disaster. And they are so big that if a nuke was inbound, all 535 members of the Congress and Senate would be able to live there for a prolonged time. We are talking about underground engineering that is incredibly impressive. Do any of the people buying bunkers from you cite aliens as a reason that they're getting them?
Not a one. No, look, man, these people buying bunkers are not crazy. These are wealthy multi-millionaires. Look.
هنا المشكلة أعزائي المشاهدين أنه راهم يشروا عليه البنكرز، ولكن لما يشوفوا هذا الفيديو ممكن راح ينقصوا له المشترين، راح ينقصوا له العملاء اللي يشتغلوا معاه، لأنه هذا الأشخاص يحبوا السرية التامة المطلقة. مثلا دونالد ترامب قال لك هو يخطط لشراء بنكر، ولكن في الواقع ممكن يكون عنده ملاجئ، ماشي ملجأ واحد فقط. ممكن يكون عنده في كل ولاية من الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية مخبأ يختبئ فيه في حالة ما إذا وقعت أي أزمة من الأزمات. وهذا أعزائي المشاهدين نظرا للقمة اللي وصلوا لها يعني في البوفوار إلى آخره. أماكن حساسة يشغلوها، كتكون رئيس في أمريكا راك تشتغل في مكان حساس جدا، يجب عليك أنك تكون تكتم الأسرار، ويجب عليك أنك ما تتكلمش وتقول كلام فارغ. يعني صعب جدا أنه تعرف الحقيقة تاع هذا العالم وهذا الأثرياء. ممكن هذا تسويق فقط باش يخوفوا الناس، والناس يروحوا يشروا من هذه الشركة. ممكن هذه خطوة تسويقية من طرف هذه الشركة، والناس يولوا يديروا مثل يعني مثلا الناس لما بدأوا يديروا جاردان، يديروا الحديقة في البيت، بلاك اليوم يولوا يديروا الحديقة بالإضافة إلى الملجأ. تولي هذه مصاريف جديدة للبشر، لأنه الناس بلاك ولاو يديروا أموال، فراح ياكلوا لهم هذوك الأموال بطريقة تخويفية. ممكن تكون يعني تتوقع كل شيء في هذا الفيديو راني نتكلم معاك، وراك يعني تقدر تسجل كل لي زيبوتاز، كل الفرضيات. والفرضيه كما نقول لكم تبقى هو امر بالك يكون كاين منه بالك ما يكونش كاين منه. لما يوقع الشيء كونكري وتشوفه بعينيك يعني شيء واضح، تقدر انك تحذف فرضيه وتاكد فرضيه اخرى. وهذه هي اعزائي المشاهدين.
I don't get many poor customers. The average customer I'm getting spends about $300,000 on a bunker, okay? But I've sold more $1 million bunkers in the last year than I've ever sold in my life. I mean, right now, I've got 60 active projects. The largest project we're working on right now is 40,000 square feet, about $30 million.
A 40,000 square foot bunker sounds excessive. How many people do you think will stay in this bunker?
My installer just finished up two 36,000 square foot bunkers, and each bunker was for 650 plus people, right? A little over 650. It was a government bunker. I'm not supposed to talk too much about it.
And they're using taxpayer money for that?
Yeah, but it's in another country. Yeah.
Of course the government will spend our money to buy a bunker for a problem that they exacerbated with our money.
Hey, these bunkers were for just the regular people. These were not bunkers for rich people. These were just basic bunkers for the everyday person. If you can make it to this facility, you get to go in that bunker and you get to sleep in a cot. This builder is building 70 to 86 houses. The houses with the bunker in like 10 acres up to 20 acres of land is right at $2 million, $1.99 million. And you're going to see them, you're like, golly, I want these houses. They're beautiful.
علم كبير وكان أمور خفية كبيرة.
Down the road to a development of multi-million-dollar homes where every house in the neighborhood comes with a doomsday bunker.
وش قلت لك؟ سماه ملجأ يوم القيامة. قلت لك يولوا يديروها في البيوت، يقولوا يبنوا الملاجئ. قسما بالله ما شفت الفيديو اعزائي المشاهدين، اول مره راني اشوفه معكم. يقول لي يعني قانون فكره تاع انسان لما يروح يبني مخبأ مثل القبو، خلاص يدير القبو ويدير جاردان جراج الى اخره، يزيد يبني مخبأ بانكر. اوكي، هذه عند الاوروبيين والامريكان الى اخره.
This development is a purely bunker mansion kind of development.
We've got about 70 lots out here for home sites, and each one of them will have a full underground survival shelter built into them. And what's great about the bunkers here is they're not just for, you know, a nuclear fallout scenario, right? They're for, you know, a big storm comes through. We're in East Texas, you get tornadoes. So it's just a safe place to go.
You want to give us a tour of the house and the bunker?
Absolutely, I'll come in.
Is the house also built around survival as well, or just the bunker?
So it's just the bunker. You know, these houses, they do run on solar, so you know you have some longevity built in there.
Oh, look at the ceilings.
Yeah, we spend some time and put really cool features in that really make them look special above ground.
I love the beams.
So this is the full living area here. Obviously got the dining entry area and the kitchen. We've got a couple bedrooms back here. We've got the non-formal living with our secret entry into the bunker, which is pretty neat. So we're about to go check that out. So this is the non-formal living. So this is the comfortable living area, right? So this is where you're gonna come watch TV with the kids when you're just hanging out for a night.
So you put a couple of the pistols and ARs here, so when the knocks start happening, okay, I have to move. What happened?
The pistols and the fun stuff are downstairs. So we're gonna go check that out. So right now we're walking down into the bunker itself. We're coming to the first set of 2 bomb-proof blast doors. So these are gas tight. They are supplied by Atlas Survival Shelters. This is 8 inches of solid concrete and steel reinforcement. So nothing's getting through these. So this is actually the
الأبواب وحدها يعني عملاقة، ليس بإمكانك أنك تخترقها حتى بالرصاص ولا بالار بي جي، ليس بإمكانك أنك تخترقها.
decontamination room. So this one's got a shower built in. So you'd come in, this door would be shut here. You'd open this door, you'd come in, you'd rinse the fallout off of yourself. You'd open this door and then enter into your bunker. As you can see, this thing doesn't feel like a bunker. It feels.
أماكن تخبئة المعدات.
We've got some pretty sweet features built in, like this gun cabinet over here. Yeah, so it's actually got a keypad entry, so you can push in your code, open and close it as you will.
We hope a nuke never hits.
Absolutely.
So this is just going to be like a really cool feature of the house that when you bring people over, oh, did you go to so-and-so's bunker? It's going to be
absolutely. And that's kind of why we designed this space the way we did. We didn't want it to feel just like it was built for one purpose only, and that was to come down here in case a nuke goes off, right?
As you watch the populace fight over the grocery stores that remain, and you know all these world leaders are getting taken out, you can sit in your bunker and just think, I'm going to be okay for a few more days.
Oh, absolutely.
The idea is that the shelter is built for peacetime, but with the closing of those 2 doors and the turning on of the air system, this becomes a certified nuclear bomb shelter within about 60 seconds.
Absolutely. We haven't checked out this feature either. Why don't you open that thing up and see what's behind there?
Texas, I'm going to say either a gun or a steak. Oh, this is the escape hatch.
That's the escape tunnel there.
Okay.
So that little hole that you're seeing in that top hatch, that's what you'll actually unscrew in the event that you want to go out that tunnel. That will let the about 3 feet of sand drain out from there, and then you can actually undo the hatch and make your way out.
Okay, so another question that comes to mind is if a nuclear bomb hits, the population goes down, my wife survives, we have to have a place to start repopulating the earth. Can you take me to the bedroom over here?
We've got a pretty nice bedroom.
And
plenty of room for repopulating in here, as you can see. We've got a full queen bed.
Yeah, I could do some.
This is a Swiss-made NBC air filtration system, okay? And what this does, the air comes in, it goes through a pre-filter up here. So there's a HEPA filter up here. The air passes down. The hose would be hooked up to here. Then the air will pass through a second HEPA filter through 106 pounds of carbon, tetacarbon, activated carbon. It would take out all the gases.
يعني هذا باختصار الفلتر الخاص بالهواء. إذا كان هناك هواء سام ويعني ما تقدرش تتنفسه، هذا الفلتر يقوم بتنقية الهواء. ولكن هذا الأمر يبقى نقطة سوداء أنا أعتقد في البنكر. لماذا؟ لأنه مهما كانت قوة الفلترز لا نعرف مدى قوة الأسلحة البيولوجية في المستقبل والفيروسات. فتخيل معي يكون الهواء مسخ إلى درجة أنه ليس بإمكانه أنه يمر داخل هذا الفلترز، ويعني بإمكانه أنه يخترق البنكر هذاك، فستختنق أنت وعائلتك ولا أي شخص يكون مختبئ معك كالفئران.
Leaders are choosing that. I don't think most people want the conflict that's happening in the world. So, hope lesbian couples are the highest domestic.
يعني شوف بطبيعة الحال أعزائي المشاهدين ما راحش نشوفوا الفيديو كله شفنا يعني ما يكفي هذه لوحات الطاقة الشمسية. في هذا الفيديو إذا كان شيء ممكن أنك تعلم بأنه هناك ناس أثرياء في العالم راهم يشروا هذا الملاجئ، راهم يصرفوا عليها وراهم يدخلوا يتخبوا فيها. يعني مثلا ممكن بعد أشهر بعد سنوات تسمع بأنه بيل غيتس ذهب إلى الملجأ وأصبح يسكن فيه. والملجأ هو ليس مخصص للعيش في الحقيقة، بل هو مخصص للاختباء في حالة ما إذا حدثت عملية سرقة، في حالة ما إذا حدث إعصار ولا أي مشكل آخر نووي ولا تلوث إلى آخره. ولكن هذا الملاجئ هل حقا راح تكون آمنة ب100%؟ أنا أقول لكم بلك راح تأخر فقط فترة الإصابة. يعني إذا كان هناك جارك أصيب مثلا في نفس اليوم من حدوث الواقعة أو حدوث المشكل، أنت راح يوصلك المشكل بعد 3 أيام أو يومين أو ممكن أقل من هذا. فهنا تعرف بأن الناس لما يكونوا عندهم الأموال وما عندهمش واحد الإيمان يقدروا يصرفوا أموالهم وكأنهم يقدروا يطولوا في أعمارهم ويقدروا أنهم يهربوا من الموت. ولكن لما يكون الإنسان مؤمن يؤمن بأن هذه الأموال التي راهي تصرف على البنكرز بإمكان أنه يستثمرها مثلا في الزكاة والصدقة إلى آخره. فلازم عليك تعرف عزيزي المشاهد بأنه مش عيب أنك تبني بنكر وملجأ ولكن العيب انك تبقى مصدق بانه الملجأ راح يبقى يسلكك من كل شيء، لانه حتى في الملجأ تهبط يقدر تحكمك اري كاردياك ولا ما عرفتش انا اي مشكل، تسقط تخبط راسك في الارض السلام عليكم تغبر، يعني يكتب لك الله عز وجل هذاك هو العمر. فالإنسان ماشي يكون يعني يقول لك فقط أؤمن بالله وما يحرص، لا عادي إنسان يقدر يحرص ويحمي نفسه بطرق مشروعة، ولكن باش توصل مستوى تاع البنكر أصلا لازم لك أموال طائلة، ما لازم لكش أموال رخيصة. راه قال لك المتوسط تاع الأشخاص شحال يدفعوا له يعني أقل شيء $300,000 أمريكي لبناء هذا الشلتر وهذا البنكر. فتخيل معي راه يشتغل على مشاريع، المشروع الواحد فيه $20 مليون ولا $30 مليون، فانت راك تتكلم على ارقام خياليه عزيزي المشاهد. وهل هذه حقا راح تكون يحتاجوها ام انه فقط مثلا للتسويق لهذه الامور؟ وزيد عن ذلك انه الوسائل المستعمله تاتي من دوله الكيان، هذيك شبه دوله الكيان، فالكيان هذاك الاسرائيلي يبيع لهم هذه الامور، بلاك هناك غايه يعني يبيع لهم هذه الامور فقط من اجل انه يدخل اموال، والامر ما كانش منه، هو تخويفي فقط. الله اعلم، تقدر دير فرضيات قلت لك وتقدر تقترحوا لي فرضيات انتم، ولكن الواقع الله اعلم، الله يعرف ما الذي يحدث. فالله عز وجل ان شاء الله ربي يحفظنا ويحمينا. وصراحة هذه الفيديوهات ليست للتخويف، بل فقط باش تكون عندك نظرة عما يحدث في العالم وعما يحدث عند أثرياء العالم. عزيزي المشاهد، صلوا على نبينا محمد أعزائي المشاهدين، وانشروا المقطع هذا على أوسع نطاق. نلتقي في الفيديو القادم إن شاء الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.